What was your "how did I get here" moment?
There's been so many multiple moments, things like that, like where I've just been like, oh my days, like what the hell, like, you know, just it's near enough most days. But when we go on road trips, there's things that like stick out. Like my dad was a mechanic, he retired, and then he started doing houses and messing around with here. Like, we've kind of brought him out of retirement now, and he helps us, and he's on the channel, and we got him a Ferrari, we got him a DBX, and we've done road trips with him. And I remember like we driving up Stelvio Pass. It was Furka Pass, in Switzerland, and he's in his Ferrari, I'm in the Murciélago, and I think he was actually driving my Aston at one point as well. And you think, what the hell? This is absolutely mint. And we did another trip. I'm in the Rolls Royce. He was in his Ferrari. We got tent boxes on the top, and we're both camping at the top of Stelvio Pass in the mountains. And I'm like, this doesn't exist like anywhere. Like, this is mental. We woke up in the middle of the night, and like the whole sky is lit up with stars. We did the same thing in like the Sahara Desert with like a Range Rover. There's been so many random points where because everyone's guilty of it, where they get to the point of they travel so fast and they do everything so fast that they forget to kind of look back and like, oh my God, that's mint. Like the Lamborghini Murciélago, that was my dream car. Like, that's a car that I wanted. Like back in the day, I used to think that is, the doors go up, it's got a V12 and it shifts manually. Like, I want that car. And it was one of them, same as a Mark McCann moment of like, don't matter what they said about it, I was going to buy it. Like, he told me it was a complete car. It wasn't a complete car, but I still...
It was a complete something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there was just boxes of bits, and it was like, they told me, oh, it's a complete car. If there's anything missing, give us a ring and we'll find it in the back. And there was loads and loads of bits missing, and never gave me them to them. And I'd never rebuilt an engine before ever either, like, and I was just taking on like a V12 as like the first one I'd done. And my dad's built loads of engines, and I rang him, I knew he retired, and said, oh, do you fancy helping me? If he doesn't want to be on camera, he doesn't want to be on camera. But at this point, he wasn't talking on camera or anything like that. He was just helping in the background. And me and my dad are building this engine up for the video, and then he starts to learn a bit more about what I do, because he didn't really have an idea of like how I was earning money for it at all. And then the fact that we built that up together, and then we started at the first turn of the key, and it starts up, it fires up. We've gone on a road trip afterwards, and then like that car, we both seen how bad it was at the start and how good it was at the end. And that was the first, like, you can never replicate the first one that they've done. Like, we do loads together now, like, but you can never replicate that first one. And then that car is like a whole different story. And then from then on, my dad's been with me for all of the other builds, and now people like him more than me on the channel. You know, like, everyone's just like, I just want to see your dad. I just want, like, that's literally it. So like, and
we're here for Mr. Armstrong.
Yeah, that is literally it. They just want to watch my dad on the channel. And like, now he's like, before we couldn't leave him alone to work on a car, because he'd fix the car and then come out to Matt and go, car's done, I'll see you later. Matt's like, we didn't
no
film
content.
Yeah.
No content.
Yeah, you know, like,
It's too fucking
he
good.
still does it a bit now. He still does it a bit now. He'll go out and he'll do something, and we're like, we didn't film it. I'm like, you do know how all of us get paid, right? Like, we have to film. Like, we don't charge a customer at the end of the day. Like, we have to put it out, and he'll be out there like fixing. He's getting it now though, and then like he speaks on camera well now, and like, he'll make jokes, and like, people love him. So like, and that start was from the Murciélago. So like, that car is always, like, it doesn't matter what the car's worth.
That's the last one to go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one out of all of them, you'd keep that.
Yeah,
one.
never. Like, I wouldn't get rid of. I wouldn't get rid of it at all. No way. Like, it's everything about it was from that build that we did it in, and it was in the old workshop as well. It was like freezing cold and like, yeah, wet floor and everything. It was wicked. Like, we somehow managed to do it, and
how long
that
did
was
that
the start
take?
of it. I think we'd probably be on it a year.
Wow.
Yeah, like, parts of the Murciélago were hard to get, even harder to get now. But yeah, it did take a long time. But then the videos were different then as well. People were a bit more patient. Like, they're a bit more, I'll watch a video of you maybe putting the heads on top of the engine for one video, and then the next video was putting the wheels on or something like that. Now, people are so hacked on this retention thing that they want to see the whole car built in one video. So it's just escalated to that point now. So we couldn't do that many videos on a car anymore. We have to get them done fast because people want to see it done quick. They don't have the attention span they used to. It's changed.
Yeah, it has.
Hey, wait, this conversation has not ended. So click here for more exclusive, wild and crazy car content.